It's definitely a chariot. Call Allah Yahawashi Yahawashi. Shalom, shalom. Yahawashi Yahawashi by Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahawashi Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel, brother, for the standard of Yahawashi Yahawashi, wherever it may be. Damn, brothers, as soon as I started up this video, a chariot, as I was walking out the house, a chariot, I was saying my prayers and the chariot came by. Call Allah Yahawashi Yahawashi, man. The chariot just flew right by me. It's the spirit of the Lord, man, you know. But I want to say now we got to walk in the spirit more than ever. As we're approaching evil and perilous times, which perilous times goes into evil, unethical, harsh, dangerous. And the time now to be circumspect is now because Biden, allegedly he's putting together this task force to combat anti-Sism, okay? And we know what that means. We know that this whole Kyrie and Kanye situation was really set up to bring the division and to actually bring out a smear campaign against the Israelites, because you got to look at the hypocrisy of these small hats and these Edomites and these other nations on how it's so ironic how they can poison our kids. They can force juice in them at gunpoint, stuff like that. They can promote the TG agenda, you know, happy hour with Teddy Ruxpin and all this other stuff. But yet when we claim that we're the Israelites, then all of a sudden that's a hate crime now. Okay, that's a hate crime. But because they say that we're trying to replace the small hatters. For one thing, we not replacing a damn thing. Okay, the spirit of Yahawashi Yahawashi is rising up his elect. Okay, because the scriptures say, wait ye upon me till I rise up to the prey. So this is the Lord rising up against you small hatters out there and declaring the truth, because the scriptures say that the words of the Lord have been purified 7 times more. Okay, meaning that it's completed. And we know that none of the prophecies are going to fail. None of the prophecies are lies or anything like that. We know that the prophecies are going to 100%. They're going to come to pass. All right. So with that being said, man, walking circumspectly, you know, being cautious and taking an extra precautions to kind of examine your spirit and to really keep your head on a spiritual swivel and pay attention to everything that's being said, man, because they're going to pass legislation sooner than later to get us off the streets. Okay, and these videos are going to disappear, and then for you know it, they're going to secretly start trying to round brothers up and interrogate us and ask us questions about what we believe in. But you got to understand, we got to stand behind the scriptures, because the Lord said, don't meditate on what you used to say in that day. So I will give you a mouth and a spirit that your adversaries would not gainsay, nor would they resist. Okay, so we coming into them times, brothers, man, you know, because like I said, the talking point now is we have to have task force to combat anti-S, which that whole Semitic nonsense, that's a made up term. Okay, and you notice they did that deliberately, because see, the scriptures say that Esau, he's the devil and he's deceitful. So what you have to understand about that term anti-S, that's a particular term made up by them so they can pretty much spin the narrative on it, because they know that there's no such thing as Semitic. They know there's no such thing as that. They know that it's Shemitic. But see, the average peons out here, they don't know the 3 sons of Japheth. They will say Ham, Shem, and Japheth, but they would never put together that Shem or Sham, which means name, is what they get that whole derivative from a Semitic. They will never understand that, because these people, they're just blind and they're docile. You see? So with that being said, man, this guy Biden is passing legislation, a task force to combat anti-S. So they're going to start monitoring videos. They're going to start clipping videos again. Certain channels are going to disappear. Like my GMS2, I believe. I think it was GMS2. They just took that. I had like 1 strike on it, and all of a sudden the whole damn page just up and disappeared on me. They were like, you know what? We just going to take it. Because GMS1 was pretty, that was pretty controversial. That was pretty hard. 2 was even harder. Then you know, it was just like they just snatched it down. They was like, nah, we ain't dealing with this. Y'all dudes are too damn straightforward. Y'all bringing out too much information. We got to clip it. We still got a lot of those videos too, but I don't think we can really upload them, because You know, they would never last more than a day on YouTube. Honestly, we re-upload a lot of our old videos going back to GMS 1 and 2. Yeah, right. They will literally fucking beat down the door to find out who's behind those pages. So, you know, that's dead in the sand. But regardless of that, man, the new thing is we can't speak on who we are. But the small hats can openly declare that they the people of Yahawashi. And they never even claim to be the true people of God. They just say, oh, we're the JEW or the you wish. That's all they say. They never back it up with fact. They never back it up with history. They never back it up with prophecy. Okay, because they can't do that. Because when we go to the Bible and prove these things and disproves their rhetoric and their doctrine, then they kind of, you know, they get frozen up, they get choking up. So the only thing they can do is hide behind their political systems and their governments. You know, their particular clauses they put in play. And Esau always done that. Okay, he's always blamed everybody else and shift the blame on other people. Like in the garden, who did he blame? He blamed the woman. Okay, you know, the woman blamed the serpent and he blamed her. But Adam took the fall for it. He took the brunt of the abuse, you know, which represents Adam, which is Yahawashi. On this, Yahawashi is Adam, but we come in the spirit of Yahawashi, Yahawashi, man. Okay, then you go back into Revelation when it says that the accuser of thy brethren has been casted down. Okay, even during the time of Esther, what did Haman and Agagite, what did he do? He blamed Israel, man. A smear campaign, and then he went up before council to basically get our people put to death because basically they're still mad about the birthright, and that's where it boils down to. Even to this day, when this whole scandemic nonsense came out, at first it went from a Chinese woman eating a damn fried bat soup. Like, get the hell out of here. Then all of a sudden, when it came to America, then all of a sudden blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were the main populace that was contracting this shit and spreading it. So you see how they blame us for everything? That's why it says the accuser of thy brethren have been casted down. Because it went from a Chinese virus all of a sudden to black people, Hispanic people. And they stated that blacks need to be juiced up more than other nations because they're more acceptable to receiving it, which is total bullshit. And what proves that we are the Israelites because they mentioned blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in that order. All right. So that shows you right there, man, that they're after the true people. They're after this birthright, man. Okay, but there's a victory that's written that the hopeful elect will receive in its time. So all we got to do, brothers, is keep teaching and stay firm and stay faithful, man. Because if we remain faithful and we don't waver and we get grounded, and I meditate on this all the time. This is like one of my main prayers, that, you know, we don't get shaky and that we remain rooted and grounded. You want to be like that tree that's implanted that can't move. You want to be like that rock that the waters beat on and the sands and the winds beat on, but it was unmovable, man. Like the Lord said, look, I set my Peter, he said, thou art my rock, and the gates of hell will not prevail against thee, man. Okay, because you got to have a foundation like stone. Because if you have a foundation that's like sand, what it tells you in the scripture, in the parable, it says when the winds beat on it, it washed away. Just like if you build a sandcastle on the middle of a shore or on the middle of a beach, eventually those waves are going to sweep that sand back into the ocean. But if you ever notice, you ever been to a lakefront or ocean, like if you go to Chicago, a good example of that is if you go to 47th Street Beach or the lakefront in Chicago, 47 and Lakeshore Drive, and you sit on the rocks, you have big rocks and stones that's pretty much engrafted in the sand, in the water, and it can't move. I mean, the waterways beat on it, it hit on it, and it's constantly stable. So we got to be like that rock, man. Yeah, it got algae and stuff on it. It got discoloration because the water over time, it disintegrates it over time. But overall, it's immovable, man. And we have to be an immovable object for Yahawashi, Yahawashi, bar none, man. Okay? And we're coming into the times that is going to get very, very disturbing because they're going to start threatening this New World Order is going to be forced at gunpoint. At one point or another, this New World Order is going to be forced upon the people. Okay, just like the whole Maxine Waters. At first, it was all, okay, it was voluntary. You can do this. You ain't got to go down there and take this and that. You're good. Natural, you know, diplomatic immunity. I'll say it that way. And all of a sudden, down the line, they was talking about deploying task force, man. Military camps to set up and to get people all juiced up, man. Okay, I saw a video, I believe it was in New Zealand. And I'm going to do a video on it, Lord's will, later on when I get some downtime. But it was a video that came out that they basically forced a couple at gunpoint to get their baby to accept blood transfused juice, man. at gunpoint, and then we'll show you how crazy it's gonna be. The woman, she just started bugging out immediately, man. All that pride, all that vigor she had built up, because you know New Zealand women, they're proud as hell. They're just like American women, you know. But all that pride, all that mouth, all that haughtiness, that shit went out the window when they threatened her baby with that tainted blood. So you really, we really have to understand what we're a part of, you know, and hopefully and pray for that covering, because you other people outside of this thing, as much as you may scoff at it and think it's a joke, you may think it's the boogaloo or whatever you want to call it, you're going to realize that being part of this faith and sincerely grounded, that comes with the protection. That comes with Yahawashi protecting his hopeful elect. And trust me, I've seen the Lord do wonders in my life at face value. I'm talking about situations that was dire, and the Lord came through and delivered me at that last second, man. I'm going back to the vehicle fire I had a couple of months ago. That shit caught fire at a gas station. That gas station was supposed to go up in flames. I just knew that shit was done. Spirit said, just get away, walk down the street, and just be cool. You know, and the whole time I'm just in disbelief about what the fuck happened. I'm like, I know this shit ain't just happened. You know, we getting ready to go kick it with the brothers and shit, man. You know, Jake is all fresh and good, you know. And by the time that happened, after we went to the place, it's like it never even happened, man. Jake was like, man, you look like you ain't even like you just got out of a whole burning car. You ain't got a lick of dirt on your ass, man. But that reminded me of that story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego being in the fiery furnace. But anyway, brothers, I made it to the chop shop, if you know what I mean, the plantation. But anyway, giving our praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahawashi. And with that, Shalom and the Baba Ball. Yeah, you brothers, you can go back and read those precepts and write them down and get edified on it. But with that, Shalom and the Baba Ball. Shalom.